Alrighty, real quick, second video here. We're going to talk about how to convert between degrees and radians. And I'm not going to talk about what a radian is because we're going to do that in class. But here's just how you do it. Here's your conversion factor. And if you're taking chemistry or physics, then this will look very familiar. It's just another type of, converting between units. Your conversion factor is that 180 degrees, or sorry, 2 pi, I got confused with what I was saying. 360 degrees, we call that 2 pi radians. And this is actually unitless. So usually you could just say 2 pi. 360 degrees and 2 pi is the same thing. Okay, so what this means then is that when you're converting units, we'll do an example here. It's okay to multiply by this, meaning that 2 pi divided by 360 is equal to 1. And that's why it's okay to switch between units. For example, if you're converting feet to inches, 3 feet, and you want to multiply it, you want to turn it into inches, you would multiply it by, well, there's 12 inches for every 1 foot. And again, this is just a giant 1 because 12 inches is 1 foot. And then anything divided by itself is 1, except for 0. So this is why you could get 36 inches. Okay, so if we're talking about angle measures then, let's see, I want to turn, let's suppose 45 degrees into radians. And so all I would have to do is, well, you have to make sure that your conversion factor is the right orientation. And what I mean by that, if I do it this way, 360 over 2 pi, then I'm kind of canceling out my degrees in radians, or rather nothing is being canceled out here. And so when you actually do this, your units on your final result will be degrees squared per radian, which doesn't quite make sense. So make sure that whatever unit starts off on top, it's canceled out by the denominator of the conversion factor. So in this case, I want the 360 degrees on the bottom, 2 pi on top. Now we know that degrees and degrees will just cancel out there, leaving us with, let's see, that would be 90 pi over 360. And so that would be pi over 4 radians. Oftentimes you don't need to say the radians because once we see pi in there, we kind of know that's radians already. But so that's kind of implied. If I wanted to go the other way, well, let's say I wanted to do 5 pi over 6 radians into degrees. Well, we just need to make sure our radians are opposite each other. So again, this means radians are on top. Oh, oops. Let me clean that up for you. I apologize. I'll have 5 pi over 6 radians. And whenever you just have a unit like that, it's, again, implied over the top because it's like over 1. Just like how before, in this example, it was feet over 1, over nothing, basically. So if that's the case, then I want my radians on the bottom. 2 pi, again, 2 pi radians. 360 degrees on top. So I know my radian is going to cancel out there. And I also know that pi is going to cancel out. Remember, pi is just a number here. I can actually clean this up a little bit more because 360 over 6 is just 60. So this leaves me with, let's see, 5 times 60, 300. Don't forget the 2 on the bottom. So that would be 150 degrees.